You better bring more money with you the next time you show up at our doorstep, or else I'll kick you right back out onto the curb like I did today. You got that? Remember, the entry fee is $500 and not 1 cent less. I would accept more, though. You could also pay in advance if that makes it easier for you. Like, pay $5,000 up front and I'll deign to let you come inside 10 times. I cannot believe that you would treat me so terribly, Mary. I am truly disappointed in you. All I wanted to do was come and give you a gift to congratulate you on your new house finally being built. I never expected that you would try to charge me an entry fee to go into my own son's house. Oh, quit your pathetic whining, Mom. You're in no position to be lecturing me about anything. I mean, what kind of societal reject walks around without having at least $500 in cash on them at any given time? Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. You're dirt poor. You probably don't even have $500 in your savings account. How many more insults are you going to heap on me today, Mary? Charging your mother-in-law an entry fee to come into your house to visit you? I've never heard of such a thing. Do you fancy your house to be some sort of amusement park or exclusive club? Ugh, for crying out loud. We've been through all this before, Mom. Did you forget? Are you going senile or something? Don't tell me you don't remember that the new house we just built cost us over $1 million. So yeah, our house is basically an exclusive club. How many houses in this area do you think are as luxurious as ours? You want to kick back and relax in the lap of luxury in my house? Well, you're not going to do that for free. No matter how many times you tell me that, it's still just as ridiculous as the first time. If you wanted your gift in cash, then you could have simply asked for that. I'm sorry, did you think this was only going to be a one-time thing? Bless your heart. No, every single time you want to come and visit us, you'll have to shell out another $500. It's very simple. You're my mother-in-law, you're dirt poor, I don't want you around. So if I charge you money every time you come over, then you'll never come around. This system will also be great at cutting down on the unexpected visits. Wasn't this a great idea? Oh, I am such a genius for coming up with the perfect mother-in-law repellent system. I should patent it. I would never intrude on you and Ken's private life like that. You know that whenever I come to visit the two of you, I always call ahead to see if you're busy. All I wanted to do today was give you your gift, chat for a little while, and be on my way. So please, Mary, won't you stop this ridiculous entry fee nonsense? Can't we have a normal relationship? Oh, shut up, would you? God, you're obnoxious. It's not my fault that you're dirt poor, so don't come crying to me about that. You should have worked harder. There you go again. Why are you calling me dirt poor? You'll have to explain that to me. I have no idea what you're talking about. Even if it were true, that is no way to talk to any person you interact with, much less your own mother-in-law. It's just the truth. What's wrong with saying the plain and simple truth? Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just calling it as I see it. Just what do you think you're seeing anyway? Man, I have the worst luck. Here I was, thinking I had finally found myself a man who was worthy of my time. Ken works for one of the most powerful law firms in the state, and he's on track to become the youngest partner in the firm's history. You have no idea how many women I had to get rid of in order to get him to focus his attention on me. And now I find out that he's the product of a dirt poor, broken home. Ugh, yuck. I felt like I was gonna puke when I found out right before the wedding. It was too late. I was already stuck with him. And you. Mary, that attitude of yours is positively atrocious. You were never like this before you and Ken got married. I remember the first time I met you, you seemed like the sweetest girl. You were so polite and respectful to me. You even told me you respected me for raising such a fine and upstanding man as Ken. I was just being polite. You didn't notice? Pathetic. I did what I had to do in order to get my hands on the single most eligible bachelor in the city. That's all. What? And wow, did my hard work and perseverance pay off. We're officially married. I won. So now I don't have any more reason to play this sweet and innocent act in front of you or anyone else but Ken. I see you finally decided to reveal what you truly are, Mary. Yep, because I've already won, and there is nothing you can do about it, so give it up. If you want to come and see your son ever again, you're going to have to do as I say. Cough up the cash or get lost. The entry fee for peasants is $500, no less. Don't have the money? Not my problem. Go get a job or something. I promise you, Mary, you are going to regret this. Oh no, I'm really scared. Would you get out of here already? You're still hanging around outside our house? I can see you from the second floor window. You look so jealous on the outside, looking in at our fabulous lifestyle. Are you gonna cry? Oh God, I hope you cry. I'm not crying, Mary. I'm leaving. Seems like I wasted my time coming here. That's a mistake I won't be making ever again. I'll never come back to this house. And you can forget about the gift I was going to give you. Aw, I'm so sad. I bet you saved up money for years to buy that cheap bottle of wine or whatever it was. I'll pass. I bet any gift we got from a dirt poor old woman like you would be covered in all kinds of poor people diseases and fleas and stuff.
Hey, Mom, I'm sorry about today. I know you were planning on coming over to celebrate the new house being finished with us, but I had to step out for work. One of our firm's biggest clients had a big problem that had to be dealt with immediately.
I understand, Ken. I know you have a very demanding career. Getting called in on your days off must be exhausting for you.
Thanks for being so understanding, Mom. So what did you think of the new house? Did you like the cathedral ceiling in the living room? I know you always liked that kind of design. Oh, and did Mary take you by my study and the theater room? I'm really proud of how those turned out. That house was the product of long years of hard work, so I wanted it to be everything I've ever dreamed of.
Yes, Ken, I'm sure the house is positively gorgeous, although all I was able to see was the exterior.
Huh? You only saw the outside? What do you mean? You came out all this way and you didn't even come inside?
I tried, but I wasn't allowed in. Mary told me that if I wanted to come inside, I would have to pay an entry fee of $500.
What? An entry fee?
She explained it by saying that I should expect to pay a proper fee if I wanted to relax in a house that cost over $1 million to build. And unfortunately, I didn't have that much cash on me. So I took a good look at the exterior from the sidewalk out in front, and I left.
Hold on, this doesn't make any sense. Mary really told you that? Like, for real, Mom? I mean, she knew you were coming to give us a present.
I had a feeling for some time now that she didn't think as highly of me as she let on. Whenever she looked at me, she always seemed like she was examining me, judging me. I can't quite describe it, but it was just odd. But I had no idea she would do such an about-face in how she treats me after all this time.
Wait, what? I had no idea this was going on. You mean Mary was treating you poorly all this time?
She put on a good face when you were in the room, but once you left, she changed completely. You remember when you brought her to my house to introduce her to me and you went into the bathroom? Well, while you were away, she started to ask me about how much my clothes cost, what brand they were, and the like.
Really?
And when I told her the truth, that they were just things I picked up from the department store, she started snickering at me. I believe her words were, "Oh my God, is that all you can afford to buy?" I believe that was the precise moment when she changed her opinion of me.
I don't believe it.
She also asked me about how much the rent was for my apartment. I answered truthfully again, but it seems she was under the wrong impression. She got upset and told me that I should downsize and move somewhere cheaper. It seems that she thinks you're the one paying for my living expenses.
Oh man, now that you mention it, Mary's been acting kind of weird about that lately. She's been asking me how much money I'm giving you each month. And I mean, I keep telling her that I'm not giving you any money at all, but she just keeps asking, how much, how much, how much?
I feel terrible about this, Ken, but I'm afraid I won't be able to go to your house anymore. $500 is simply too much to pay each time I visit.
No, Mom, you don't need to pay us anything at all. Look, I'm gonna go have a talk with Mary about this. It's not that I don't trust you, but this is just hard for me to believe.
I understand completely, Ken. It must come as a huge shock to you. She's always been such a sweet girl and a wonderful wife for you. You don't need to worry about me, dear. I'll just keep my distance with Mary. We'll find some way to continue to see each other.
What is wrong with you? How could you go and tattle on me to Ken like that? He came up to me yesterday and asked me about the entry fee I'm making you pay.
Well, I'm sorry. Was I not supposed to tell Ken about that? Why not, dear? Is it because you know you're in the wrong and didn't want Ken to know? If that's the case, you shouldn't have tried to extort me like that in the first place.
Shut up, you obnoxious old hag. Seriously, you're the worst mother-in-law ever. You're just as annoying as mother-in-laws are, but without having any money to give us.
What?
I bet you thought Ken was going to get on my case about that, didn't you? Well, too bad for you. He wasn't mad at me at all.
Is that so?
I was kind of nervous at first, but he didn't ask me any kind of follow-up questions at all. All he did was ask me if it was true that I was charging you an entry fee, and when I said yes, he just said, "Thanks for telling me." That's all. I told him everything, even the fact that I called you dirt poor, and he didn't even care. He didn't tell me to stop. He didn't tell me to be nicer to you. Nothing. Looks like Ken and I are on the same page. Neither of us wants you in our nice new mansion.
Oh, you agree, do you?
I mean, yeah. Duh, obviously. After all, Ken paid for that house with his own money. In fact, I bet he cares about the house even more than I do. We can't just let homeless shelter rejects waltz in like they own the place. Our real estate value would plummet. I bet that deep down he thinks that I did the right thing by making you pay to come inside.
I wouldn't be so sure if I were you. And just because he didn't say anything to you about it at the time doesn't mean he has nothing to say about it at all.
You're just sore that I won and you lost. Ken took my side. He doesn't care about you at all. And now that we've officially established that, I'd say it's finally time for us to end this farce of a relationship. You're no longer welcome in our lives, Mom.
Oh?
I won't ever let you in my house, even if you do bring the $500 entry fee. You're not welcome at Thanksgiving or Christmas either. And when I give birth to your adorable little grandchildren, you are never going to meet them. You're never even going to see their faces or know their names.
I'm all right with that arrangement. Seeing as I'm going to divorce you within the week, you'll never have a chance to have my mom's grandchildren.
What?
So you can go ahead and cut my mom out of your life. And from this day forward, I don't ever want you to speak to her again.
Wait, hold on. Mom? That's not you, is it? Oh no, don't tell me. Is that you, Ken?
And so what if it is? Is there something that you don't want me to know about, Mary?
Oh no, it is you. But why are you there, Ken? I was texting your mom. This isn't your phone number.
No, it's my mom's phone, but I've been sitting next to her this whole time. I thought Mom deserved to hear from me personally about what my next moves were going to be. More specifically, I came to her house today to let her know that I'm going to divorce you.
What? Ken, no, you can't.
Yes, I can. We're getting divorced, Mary. I can no longer continue to live as your husband. After the way you've treated my mother, I don't think I could even stand to see your face or hear your voice.
Hold on, Ken, calm down, okay? This is all happening way too fast. You're not thinking clearly. Why on earth would you want to divorce me?
Do I really have to spell it out for you? I thought it would have been crystal clear by now. You have treated my mother in a shockingly evil way. You're acting like a character in some kind of cheesy soap opera. Did you think you would just get away with everything you did to her?
But I don't get it, Ken. When I told you about everything yesterday, you didn't seem like you were upset at me at all. All you did was hear me out while I told you the whole truth. You just sat there and listened. You didn't even ask me any questions afterward. I took that to mean that you felt the same way that I do about your mom. I mean, you basically brushed it all off completely. You didn't even look like you cared. You do agree with me, don't you? You don't want your mother ruining our image in the neighborhood with your poor mom coming around, right?
After all this time, you don't understand me at all. It's not that I wasn't angry with you yesterday. I simply determined that you weren't worth getting angry at. Any conversation would have been a waste of time, so I walked away.
Ken?
As the good book says, don't throw your pearls before pigs. If I thought that there was any hope at all that you could change, then maybe I might have given you a stern talking to. But sadly, what you said to me exposed the depths of the corruption of your character. I gave up all hope of there ever being any sort of connection between us again.
Ken, let's talk about this, please.
There's nothing more to say. Or, put another way, there's nothing that I can say that would get through to someone like you. No one who would so brazenly mistreat their own husband's mother is either capable or worthy of redemption.
Don't say that.
I have no interest in reconciling with a person of such low moral fiber as yourself, Mary. Pack your things immediately and get out of my house. There is nothing that will change my mind on this. We're getting divorced. I want you out of my life as soon as possible.
Wait, Ken, let me say my piece. I don't want to divorce you. We've only been married for 6 months. And you want to divorce me over something like this? Oh, you can't be serious.
Something like this? Do I need to remind you of all the things that you've done and said to my mom? You mocked her, called her dirt poor, insulted her clothes, declined her gift, and kicked her out of my house. So yeah, Mary, I most assuredly do want to divorce you over something like this.
But Ken...
No buts, Mary. I'm not interested in hearing anything else you have to say. When my mom begged you to let her into the house to see you, did you listen to her? Did you take what she said seriously? No, you shut your heart and your mind and threw her out. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do to you right now.
Please, Ken!
And let me make one thing clear. You called it my house, didn't you? It is not your house. It was once our house, but since the loan and title are both in my name, once we are divorced, it will forever be my house. Tell me, did you ever contribute anything to our finances? No, not 1 cent. What was yours, and what was mine was also yours, according to you. But not anymore. You're gonna have to make it on your own now.
How can you be so cold to me, Ken? After all we've been through together, we were so happy living in that beautiful house. We used to talk about our future together all the time, Ken. Are you just gonna throw that all away? Please don't kick me out of the house, Ken. I'm begging you.
Would you like the house? All right, I'll sign over the title to you. Then you can pay for the mortgage, property taxes, utilities, and so on. Think you can handle that? Do you even know how much the monthly payment is on $1 million loan? It would cost more than you made in 4 months before we got married.
Duh, of course there's no way I could pay off a loan like that. I know how much I used to make. You don't have to patronize me like that.
Well, then I guess you're out of options. You'll have to say goodbye to the house. Your name isn't on the title, and even if it were, you couldn't pay for it. And to think you had the nerve to say that it was your house. Pathetic. And on top of that, you tried to charge my mom money to get inside.
Come on, why are you being so mean to me, Ken? Don't you think you're going way overboard? Don't you think you're overreacting? You weren't this angry yesterday. If this is how you really felt, why'd you hide it from me? You should have been honest.
Oh, do you think you're in any position to demand full frontal honesty from anyone? I'm not the one whose personality did a complete 180-degree turn the second we got married. So no, I won't take any such complaints from a two-faced liar like you.
Two-faced?
And now let's move on to your treatment of my mom, shall we? My mother is the only reason that I was able to become the man that you married. All my success, all that I am, everything is thanks to her. My father passed away when I was still an infant, leaving her to raise me all by herself. In spite of that, she supported me through college, through law school, through the bar exam, and through my interviews with my first law firm. Every time you insulted her, you were insulting me too, and I will never forget that.
Hey, Ken, look, I guess maybe I kinda got carried away with my excitement about the new house. I'll apologize to your mom about yesterday. Really, what was I thinking? Charging her $500 to get in? I was acting like a total moron. So please, don't divorce me.
I already told you, Mary. You're too late for apologies. Pack your things and get out. I'll have my secretary draw up the divorce papers. She'll contact you when they're finished.
Thanks a lot, Mom. I'm actually getting divorced now, and it's all your fault. I will never forgive you for this until the day I die. I'm confused, Mary. What on earth are you getting mad at me for? All that happened today is you reaping what you've sown. Shut up! I'll make you regret coming between Ken and me. You're gonna pay for this, I swear. And when you start to miss me, and you will, don't come crying to me, because I am getting out of this house and never coming back. Did you really think I would miss you after all that's happened between us? I am so glad to be rid of that loser Ken. What woman in her right mind would ever want a mama's boy like him for a husband? So what, he's a rich and powerful lawyer.
I hope he'll enjoy being single forever, and I hope you can get used to the fact that you are never gonna have any grandchildren.
Oh, don't worry about me, Mary. Regardless of whether my son remarries or remains single, has children or not, I will still be just as proud of him as I have ever been.
I'm gonna marry a guy 10 times better than him next. And this time, he won't be a total moron who loves his mommy more than his own wife. I don't care if he lives in a mansion or not. Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna get a ton of money and alimony from Ken. It'll be more than enough to start my life over. I'm gonna use it to buy some super sexy clothes and go to the clubs where all the rich men hang out.
What's that? Alimony? What are you talking about?
Oh my god, are you serious? You don't know what alimony is? Now that Ken is divorcing me, I'm gonna get half of all his stuff. I decided that I wouldn't bother waiting until the lawyers settled everything. I went ahead and withdrew half of the money in his savings account right before I left the house. I now have $200,000 to spend, and boy, am I gonna spend it. With this much money, I could live in total luxury for at least a year.
Mary, no! You can't do that. That's a crime.
Huh?
Yes, you'll be entitled to some of his assets in the divorce, but don't forget you've only been married for a year. Furthermore, money he had saved up prior to your marriage isn't subject to division during the divorce proceedings. You don't just get to walk away with half of everything he's ever earned.
Wait, really?
Yes, really. You need to return that money right now. You'll just have to wait until the lawyers calculate exactly how much you'll receive.
But it's too late to return it. I already spent a bunch of it.
Oh, heavens, Mary. Oh, what have you done?
Well, what was I supposed to do? I need a place to live, right? I just got divorced today. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do now. So I just went to the closest apartment to our house and signed a lease for $5,000 a month. And, well, I bought a nice new handbag, or two. It was a good deal, though, only around $10,000 or so.
Oh, no.
So, do I have to give all of the money I took back?
Obviously, yes. And that includes whatever you've already spent.
Uh-oh.
You should be glad you only spent $15,000. That shouldn't take you very long to work off. I mean, I earned that much in just 2 months.
What?
If you think earning $7,500 a month makes me poor, you must be earning far more than that. So yes, you'll be able to repay him that much in no time. Honestly, I don't know what you're so worried about.
Hold on. Did you say $7,500 a month? You make $7,500 a month, Mom? How much do you make in a year?
Well, when you include annual bonuses, I suppose my income is probably a bit north of $100,000 per year.
100,000? You make that much?
Why, yes, Mary, I do. You seemed convinced that I was a poor single mother, but I've never really wanted for money at all. In other words, I could have paid your silly $500 per visit if I really wanted to. But I didn't want to, and so I refused. That's all.
I had no idea. I thought you were just gonna be a burden on us. I thought we'd have to support you for the rest of your life.
Well, you thought wrong. Now, as I said, go and return Ken's money as quickly as possible. Don't forget, your ex-husband is a lawyer. I wouldn't try any funny business if I were you. If you're not careful, you might end up digging a deeper hole for yourself than you already have. Mary managed to return all the money she took from Ken. I understand she had to go to her parents to have them loan her the $15,000 she had already spent. She also moved back in with them and started working a part-time job to pay them back. It will take her some time to pay it all back, but she's giving them a few $100s every month. Unfortunately for Mary, in a bizarre twist of fate, the company that she ended up working for was the same company that I work for.
I occasionally see her around the office, but it seems that she's not so keen on interacting with me. The moment she sees me coming, she immediately starts running in the opposite direction. It's gotten to the point that she's even been taking days off when she knows that we'll be working in the same area. The temporary staffing agency she's going through seems to be fed up with her constantly taking time off and are likely to terminate her in the near future.